Hey, everybody. You ready out there? Well, we're ready to do that thing that we do. Sit back, relax. Hope you grabbed yourself some tacos because it is now time for Taco Tuesday, baby. Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Taco Tuesday. This is Hebrew77. And I don't have anybody here with me right now at the moment, but we'll scroll down the hey, we got Keith's dad in the house and Michael Fontaine. Michael Fontaine, nice to see you, brother. Well, I ain't got no broadcast partner. I guess he fell asleep on me. I tried to call him a while ago. You want to come in here and fill in for him, Keith's dad? I'm glad you showed up, man. I was just thinking about you earlier, man. I was like, I wonder if Keith's dad will be on here tonight. Maybe he can come in here and we can have at least half a show. Oh, man. And I do know there's other broadcast on tonight, so I'm not going to have, I've lost half of my audience to scare performance. But you know what? I had this time slot before he did, so we're doing this. We're doing this tonight. This is Taco Tuesday. Teresa Lynch called in, and Saji called in, so it's just me up here. But let me go ahead and send the invite. Now, I'm sending this invite to Keith's dad. Please, nobody jump on it. All right. There we go. All right. Boom. There you go, Keith's dad. You jump on it. Anyone else jump on it, you're going to be in violation of I don't know. I can't make up the rules as I go along, but this is for Keith's dad. So come on in here. We got to have somebody watching chat. Tell you what, Michael Fontaine, you could be the chat watcher. You let us know what's going on there in chat. I guess you don't have a wrench, do you? That would be an issue. I know there's a lot of people watching Scare Performance right now, but hey, it's okay. This is a recording. You know, my fingers are starting to tingle. I hate that feeling. All right. So, what am I going to talk about tonight? I don't know, man. I thought, like, if Keith's dad's going to be here, maybe we could talk about all Star Trek stuff. Like, we could talk about all things Star Trek. I have a few things I wanted to share. It came across TikTok, pissed me off this week. All right, well, there he is. Let me go ahead and take that down. Whoops. Let's see here. All right, let me put Keith's dad in here, but let me go ahead and take down the witchmadoodle. Go to YouTube. In here, but let me go ahead and take whoa. Why is myself talking to myself? My goodness. Boy, am I silly. All right, here we go. Here's the wonderful, the ever so awesome Keith's dad.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Keith's dad, what's going on, man?
No, not much. It's been a pretty boring week, I must say.
No.
Yeah, I've been waiting all week for Taco Tuesday.
I know, and then it finally gets here, and then you like, there's no Saji, there's no Teresa, it's just me.
Well, Saji's been out for a while. I hope he's okay. Do we have any updates on him?
Yeah, he's okay. He was sick the other day. But now I guess he thought we weren't going to do a show, so he called me at like 7:30, but I was taking a nap. That's why I'm so late, man.
No problem. I do my naps at about noon time.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere between noon and 2, I usually do take a nap.
Well, it's been one of those weeks where I've been taking extra long naps and then get up and I don't know what's up, man. It's like I'll be tired after doing absolutely nothing. Just be tired. You ever do
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Just I mean, you got to think. I work from home. So I
Mm-hmm.
set up my computer, which is right next to my bed, really. So I don't really go very far, except when I go and grab cups of coffee. And in fact, I mean, if you guys remember, I do have a Keurig right next to me. I just haven't used it lately. But I don't really, I'm not really all that active when it comes to, and I get tired so
Mm-hmm.
often, but it's a brain tired because
Yeah.
I do work, so I do use my brain, and so that's almost, if not more, exhaustion. You get more exhaustion. I don't know if that makes sense. It's probably not English that I'm speaking right now, but I hope it makes sense when you get that brain exhaustion going.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, oh, just been playing games and working. That's about it. I have been going outside with my kids lately because it started to get
Yeah.
pretty nice here in North Kakalaki.
Yeah. How's the weather been over there, man?
I mean, it's short sleeve weather. Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous here.
Cool.
No complaints whatsoever.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's been like yesterday and today, like high 60s, nearly 70s. The other day I took the car and vacuumed it out and cleaned it out and washed it. It sucks,
Well, I
man. It's
haven't done
like,
anything productive yet, but I've gone out and played with my kids. That's about it.
what sucks though, man? You know what sucks? I washed my car yesterday, parked it under some trees. Guess what happened? Guess what I found all over it today?
Squirrel nuts.
Well, close.
No,
Close,
just kidding.
close. Yeah.
Definitely some birds.
Yep. Yeah.
Birds are coming back.
Mm-hmm. Friggin' bird. Well, all over it. I know you were trying not to say it, but this
Yep,
is Taco Tuesday.
some bird poo poo.
Yeah, all over, man. Just totally covering it. What was cool though is I found this new product. If I could show it on camera here, hold on, let me go grab it. I don't know if you've seen this before, but my daughter. Oh, I'll tell you what, man. Okay, let me turn this into a story real quick before I go get this product. Is like we went to McDonald's. I went there. I was thirsty. I was like, man, I'm thirsty. Am I the only one thirsty? My wife's like, no, I have a drink. And then my daughter was like, I have my drink. And I was like, okay. So we'll go to McDonald's. And sure enough, as soon as we get to the drive-thru, my daughter wants a root beer. I'm like, okay, that's cool, no problem. And then yeah, you know how it is with kids. They change their mind rapidly. So yeah, and then my wife goes, oh, well, I guess I'll take a tea too. So she gets a tea as well. I was like, okay, no problem. I could pay for that. No big deal. I'm not worried about it so far. And then she adds an ice cream to it. My wife does. I'm like, don't mention ice cream because I knew what was going to happen. I just knew it. And sure enough, of course, my daughter then goes, oh, yes, I want an ice cream too. I'm like, I look over at my wife, like, that look that you give your significant other sometimes, like, why? Why did you do that? At the very least, you could have ordered it in like a cup or something. Sure enough, we weren't even that far from home, Keith's dad, we weren't even that far. Sure enough, we get halfway in the driveway and my daughter's like, I'm like, what is it? Before I even turned back there and looked, I knew what had happened. She had spilt like a great big clump of ice cream all over the friggin' back seat. I was like,
I
oh,
mean,
yeah.
when you have kids,
Yeah,
you just can't have anything nice. I mean,
I know.
people say that, but it is absolutely 100% true that, I mean, kids, they just ruin everything. The only reason why my computer is still working is because they're not allowed to touch it.
Oh, yeah.
My son had his own computer and, oh, that's broken. Yeah, they're just not allowed. Actually, in fact, my
daughter is hell on computers, man. I'm telling you.
when
I know what you're talking about.
When my son was 4, he broke. By the time he was 4, he broke 4 flat screen TVs from a 50-inch. It was like a 55-inch, a 65-inch smart TV, and 2 32 inches, I believe, something like that. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. We just finished paying off. Like we went to like rent a center at one point, and we like just finished paying off this 65-inch smart TV, and it was that one's our own fault because me and my wife went on a honeymoon to the Cayman Islands, and we got him a frisbee, and so we brought it home and gave him the frisbee, and he immediately threw it at the TV.
Oh man. Oh, dude, I'll tell you what happened. And this was kind of my fault too. Is like, first of all, congratulations on the 4 TVs. We went through about 5 tablets. Like, thank goodness they were all my wife's, but they were all her tablets. Yeah, she managed to ruin like 5 tablets by the time she's like 10 years old now. By the time she was 10. And my wife, like when she got her stimulus this time around, or last time, what was it? The $600 one? When she got that one, she gave my daughter like a little, like my sister-in-law gave her like her old phone. And it just happened to be like, I guess like the oldest version of whatever I don't know what it was. But it's like, she is not touching this computer at all, period. There's no way. Yeah. Kids can be brutal on electronics, dude. I'm telling you. It's the truth. But this TV, we got this TV. I'll never forget it. We got it brand new, right out of the box, hooked it up. First day, she was over there just messing. I mean, just barely even mess with it. And this might have been all my fault. Like I would probably take like nearly 75% of the blame for this. As I guess when I put the legs on, like I put it down on the spot that wasn't too sturdy.
So, I mean, how many that was the big thing, and that's why I'm not all that bad, is like, how many flat screen TVs does he have to break before it's now my fault that it happened?
Right.
I mean, I should know by now. But you still gotta, they still gotta get in trouble. You can't just let them get away with it, but it's a little less harsh because I took all the blame for that. But yeah, heck, even now when you were like, oh yeah, come on, I'm like, all right, let me come on. I know my headphones, because I have to wear headphones. I know my headphones needed charging, and so I go to pick up the charger, and my charger was missing, so I had to go find my charger.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. Flat screen TVs, though, man, they are just like the easiest to freaking scratch. Like one little thing, and you've got a scratch on there. And it's like so permanent, like you can't even get rid of it.
Oh yeah, if you touch it, that's it. Yeah. It's broken. Go get a new one.
Yeah.
The moment you take it out of the box,
With the old TVs, you didn't have that problem, dude. Like with the big, thick glass TVs, heck, you could smash your head to it. You could drop it.
It's funny. I had one of those wooden TVs that were on wheels.
Mhm.
When I first moved to South Carolina initially, I didn't have anything, so I had a lot of people like they just gave me stuff, and one of them was this small little wooden, or actually it was quite a big TV, but it was on wheels and it was wooden, and that thing must have been from like the 60s or 70s. It was so old, but that thing lasted forever. It just next time I moved, I couldn't fit it in the truck. It was so big. But yeah, oh yeah, I love them. And even I do have a 32-inch flat screen TV that's really old that I bought in like 2010, and it's outlasting all my other TVs.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, no, the new ones though, man, they're just so light and so like plastic like. It's like you could you look at it the wrong way and it's got a scratch on it.
Well, they got to sell the stands, and they got to sell the what do you call it, the anti-tip straps now. So they make them like super light just so they do that. I mean, if I was a company, it's an incredibly smart move. However, I'm not. I'm a consumer, and I'm buying way more TVs than I need to.
But this is the product I was talking about. I don't know if you guys could see that on there. It comes from the Turtle Wax company, and it's for here. Let me get it closer.
Upholstery. That's
Yeah,
all I can read. Odorex.
yeah. It's got OxyClean in it, and it comes with this little brush on the top, and like you spray it as you're brushing, and it worked. It seemed to work for the most part. I mean, it took out the ice cream, and I had noticed that she had done a little bit of artwork back there as well.
A little bit of artwork.
So like, yeah, never leave crayons in the back of the seat when you got kids.
Nope.
Because they will put that to use. I'm telling you.
The back seat of my car is trashed. I mean, it is just I don't even. It's almost embarrassing. I wouldn't have put anyone else in my car at this moment. I can already tell you. I have two, and one of them is really nice. My car is kind of like an older car, so I don't really care all that much. In fact, that's the car. I spilled some kerosene in it, so basically the whole car has this like strange kerosene odor.
Yeah.
So, but it's that's the second car anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, our '89 Ford had that sort of like gasoline type smell to it.
Yeah.
But no, I got to tell you something though about the. When I was like, okay, I got this car cleaned out. It is scrubbed down. It's looking absolutely beautiful. I'm going to take the seats, and I swear to you, I'm not lying when I say this, and I'm going to put plastic over the seats like the old-time Italians used to do to their furniture. Like you'd see on Everyone Loves Raymond. I don't know if you've seen that show or not.
I've heard of it, but no, I have not seen it.
But yeah, my great grandmother, like she used to keep the plastic over her furniture, and that's what a lot of the old time Italians used to do. And on that show, Everyone Loves Raymond, that's what they had. They had the plastic on their couch. The mom did, and it just so reminded me of that. But anyway, yeah.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm gonna put plastic on these seats, and my mom looks at me. She's like, "Oh, you mean like your like great grandma used to do?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like you'll be sticking to it during the summertime, and you'll be like extra cold during the winter.
Oh yeah, when I used to go to my great grandmother's house, we were told to sit on the couch, and we couldn't like walk around anywhere. She wouldn't let me. We had to stay on the couch the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, have you ever been to someone's house? Like you go spend the night at a friend's house, and it is like you start to walk in, and it's like, oh no, we got to take our shoes off. It was like, what am I in Japan? You know?
No, I'll tell you what, the moment I live in a house where you have to take shoes off is the moment I I don't know. It's the moment life has no meaning anymore. I just, I'd rather pay someone to come and sweep my floors than to tell everyone to take their shoes off.
Yeah.
That's really the way that it goes down. Or just clean my floors every day than to have people take their shoes off. I think it's bizarre.
It's
Not to mention, I have kids. You take your shoes off and you're walking into a death trap.
Right?
You'll find a Lego will just appear just randomly.
Oh boy.
But that was for something. It's just
yeah.
Like
when you walk into an Italian home, look out for the plastic on the floor. That's where you got to look out for it. When they say, "Hey, come on into my office. We need to talk." And there's plastic on the floor. That's
Well, I will say I am a little on the lucky side. This is the first place that I have that doesn't have carpet. So I have all hardwood floors. Everything's hardwood. And that makes it very, very easy to clean. Very easy to clean. In fact, for not Christmas, my wife's birthday, she wanted one of those pet vacs. This is how you can tell, I'm a guy that doesn't really understand. But she wanted a pet vac, to clean, I don't know, pet stuff off of couches, a wet dry vac, whatever, no, she wanted a pet vac. And I ended up getting her a wet dry vac, one of those Craftsman.
Oh, yeah.
And she loves it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Because with kids, I mean, it's I didn't get her a small one. I got her a nice, big sized, almost commercial sized one. And
sweet.
That thing, you can just dump a whole gallon of water on the floor and it just picks it up no problem. I mean, it will pick up everything, crayons, it's just everything. And so it's become we have a regular vacuum, but oh man, that just stays in the closet now.
Nice.
The wet dry vac is the all-in-one.
I have one, but I mean, mine's in my garage, but I mean, it's not super nice or anything like that. It's just like, a wet dry vac. Just like you would use in shop,
Well, I mean, that's what we got was just one of the if you go to Home Depot.
Yeah,
Home Depot. I got the $100 one. It was like 6.2 horsepower or something like that. It was. I mean,
so you use that in your house?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Peanut shells, all that. Picks it all up. It's awesome.
Right. See, I only use one attachment to mine, though. I only have that one attachment that I just use it every time. I don't have the brush attachment or anything like that. I just go in and go. Man, that thing could suck the soul out of your carpets. I'm serious.
Yeah,
you gotta be real careful.
We use it. We had once we had a toilet overflow, and luckily the toilet. Well, I mean, it's not too bad because the floor. Where it is what do you call it? It's stone. It's what do you dang it.
The toilet itself?
It's like different cut stones all cemented in.
Traumatic stone. No.
Maybe cobble, but it's not really cobble. It's like slated slate stone. I don't know, but it's stone. Our den is made out of stone, and so but we have a throw carpet in there, and it got all wet because the toilet was literally right next to the den, and so it got all wet, and the wet dry vac, my goodness, it just pulls it all up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Yeah, that would have taken hours to get cleaned up, and it ended up taking like 10 minutes. It was
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Oh yeah, I could.
I'll tell you, speaking of toilets, man, you remember how I was talking about my toilet issue last week?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think so.
well, here's the thing, man, is like this thing, I swear to God, has a mind of its own. Okay, so like I got all that stuff done. I flushed it out. I even took the hose from my shower. Like I have an actual like hose, like a hose like you use outside
Yep.
attached to my shower. So I use that to take showers with. So I was like, I wonder if this sucker, I'll spray this directly into the toilet chute. So I sprayed it. I even sprayed that directly up into the toilet hole. And I did the whole Drano thing. And I did this for about 45 minutes to an hour. And so I go in there and I flush it a few times. And then finally on that final flush, it had that suction that went all the way down, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm good. I got this thing fixed. Well, the very next thing I had to go to the bathroom, guess what happened?
But
I go to flush the toilet and it just barely went down. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? After all this work that I did, thinking I was all good. And now guess what it does?
what?
It'll do good like every other flush. Like it'll take 2 flushes. By the third flush, it'll all go down. Whoosh.
Yeah, yeah. I have a toilet that's that exact thing. I have snake to that thing. I have everything, but every couple of flushes, it'll just stop up for no reason, and it's like literally just a couple flushes. It doesn't have to be like, number 2 or anything like that. It's literally just,
Yeah.
it just doesn't want to work. It just chooses not to work.
Yeah, mine just has a mind of its own, dude. Like it'll do that. It'll do like I don't know, man. Here's what I'm gonna do for you. Like, all right, I'm gonna flush for you just a little bit, just a little bit. And then next time I go in there, hey, guess what I got for you, man? I know you.
Oh,
I know that you only peed. That's all you did. But guess what? Take this. Oh, well, thanks for flushing now, asshole toilet.
so we were speaking. You were talking about possibly talking about Star Trek stuff, but I do actually have a topic to talk about.
Oh,
I don't know if
a
you are.
topic.
Yeah. I think I mentioned before, I'm actually quite the big Doctor Who fan.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. And I was watching a documentary today, actually, about one of the doctors. Now, if you don't know the story of Doctor Who, you don't really need to know it. But other than the Doctor, the way that it works is the Doctor every so often regenerates and he becomes a new actor. It's how this show has been able to continue to not die, because a lot of times, I don't know if you know, but a lot of times shows die because the actors and actresses ask for too much money, and it gets to a point where they can't sustain themselves anymore. And so, that's why you started getting shows like The Walking Dead, where characters can die, and when you kill a character, you bring a new character on, but that new character makes less money. And Doctor Who is like that. And so every 3-4 years, they actually will make the Doctor regenerate, and he becomes a new character. He becomes a new person. And the thing about Doctor Who is they rebooted it in 2005, 2006, and they brought in someone named Christopher Eccleston. And he wasn't too bad. He kind of had this big, like, late 90s type of action, stance to him, and that's how he played it. But then he ended up leaving, and when he left after 1 year, they came up with a new character, like this guy. His name is David Tennant. His name, I believe, was David Williams initially. Don't quote me on that, but his stage name is David Tennant, And this guy literally grew up to play the Doctor. He watched it as a kid. Never missed an episode except for one where he had to go to a family meeting, but he never missed an episode, and he became an actor to be that role. And
What?
and this is before they even thought
Wow.
about rebooting it. So after he became an actor, they actually canceled it. They canceled Doctor Who, and it didn't stop him though. He ended up going and trying to he did voices on the Doctor Who ended up having like audio tape recordings, audio books or whatever, and audio stories, I guess. And he would do some voices on the audio stories, and he absolutely loved it. Now he also knew everything about the Doctor and the history and stuff. And then when Christopher Eccleston decided to retire, he left. He left the show after 1 year. He didn't like it. He left the show after 1 year. They ended up David Tennant was just in the position where the showrunner at the time asked him if he wanted to play the role, and he was just, I mean, that's like a dream come true. Imagine your whole life dreaming this one thing and it actually coming true. And when this guy, when you hear his story of him growing up, I mean, even as when he was in I believe it was junior high school, he would do essays and papers, and the papers would always be Doctor Who related. And so this was like his role. Like, it was awesome, and he did great on it. And I bring that up because we talk about Taco Tuesday, and in your show tends to have a lot of PC stuff, or anti-PC stuff. Well, a couple of years ago, they replaced the doctors. Right now, the Doctor has always been a guy. He's always been a guy, and but they've hinted before that the Doctor could regenerate into a girl, and that's no problem. As long as it's the best person for the role. You know what I mean? If you've chosen the best person for the role, then cool. If you chose her because she's a girl, to me, that's sexist. I mean, if you choose someone because he's a guy, then that's sexist. So why wouldn't the opposite work? Well, that's what they did, right? And they brought her in, and she absolutely ruined the show. I don't even want to say her name. It's terrible, but she's never watched a single episode of Doctor Who. She was never a fan of it, and all it was about was it became taken over by PC culture. That's what it did. Yeah, you used to go to alien planets. They used to tackle PC stuff. Sci-fi has always tackled PC stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm reminiscent of an episode of Star Trek Next Generation. It's called the Something of Man, and it was an episode where Data was being ordered to go to a space station to be basically taken apart, and it was basically his rights were in jeopardy, and so he went to trial. He went The Measure of a Man. That's what it's called, The Measure of a Man.
Yeah. And Picard was his lawyer.
Yes, and Riker was the prosecutor. Yep.
Yeah, and Riker was kind of hesitant to do it.
Yeah, and you didn't know it, but there was very, very huge PC undertones for that episode.
Sure.
That they were tackling slavery. They were tackling racism in that episode, but they didn't throw it at you.
Right.
But
they
you
did
knew
it subtly. Yeah.
Yeah, but you knew it was there. You knew what they were talking about. There wasn't any question about it. Well, now
civil rights.
Yeah. Now, I mean, now it's terrible. You watch Star Trek nowadays. Star Trek.
They throw it. They just so blatantly just throw it in your face, and they do it just for clout. Like they don't do it to have a good show. I mean, it's just horrible.
It's horrible. You cannot do it. It kills the show. Star Trek Discovery. it literally become so terrible with it. Like they don't even, it's not subtle at all. Like it's very, very much thrown in your face, and not in a flattering way.
Yeah.
It's I don't care if there are gay guys on there or anything like that, but like for instance, there is a gay couple in Star Trek Discovery, which is fantastic. No problem. But what they do is they casted. I don't know if you've ever seen the musical Rent. Have you ever seen the musical Rent?
I've heard of it.
Well, there's a movie and it's a musical and it's called Rent.
Right. I don't watch musicals is the thing.
Well, if anyone listening knows it,
Hey,
it's basically. Oh, go ahead. I could talk forever, so go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just thinking. You're on that subject. I want you to finish that, but I do want to talk more about Star Trek Next Generation because there was something I was wanting to bring up about it. But go ahead, man. Go ahead and finish that. Your thought.
Oh, what I was saying, is they ended up taking two actors from that movie, from the movie of Rent, and they're the ones that play the gay couple in Star Trek Discovery. So it's not even like two new people. It's people you've already known as being gay.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really, there's no surprise, there's no nothing. And the worst part about it is they really get no screen time because it's not about them. When it's all said and done, they're still, one of them's still a white guy, so he doesn't get any screen time whatsoever. So it's
what's funny is like I talked about that J.J. Abrams movie. I think it was the second or third one, Star Trek, right? And
Star Wars. Do you mean Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek. And he wanted Sulu's character to be gay, and everyone made such a big deal of it, and they're like, and all of it was one scene for like 2 seconds. It was like him and his boyfriend was like walking hand in hand, like down the tunnel or something. And that's all it was. Like it was pointless. Like, why did you even like what? You got all 2 seconds of that. Okay, well, good job, I guess. What was the point of that? It's like
I mean, if you're gonna make it subtle, it's not that big of a deal. Like
right.
for instance, in Doctor Who, you had a character. His name was Captain Harkness, I believe his name was, right? And he
wait a minute, Captain what?
Harkness, I believe.
Did you say hardness?
Harkness.
Yeah, hardness.
And he was kind of, I'll be honest, he was kind of a heartthrob for the ladies. Okay. And he was a very strong character, they put a very strong actor in it.
Well, with a name like that, you have to be.
But then you find out that he's not necessarily gay, but he is, I believe, bisexual, because at one point, one of the doctors, when David Tennant ends up leaving the show, he ends up going back to all the people he dealt with on his time in the show and kind of gave them all a present. And the present that he ended up giving Captain Jack Harkness is his name, is
Jack Harkness.
Yeah.
Jack Harkness.
Make me say it. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But he ended up giving him like a date with another guy, kind of like introduced him to somebody else, and it was adorable moment. It was a cute moment. It wasn't overtly thrown in your face. It was just a very cute moment, and I love that kind of stuff. Sure, you can do that, no problem. You didn't come out specifically saying that he was gay or anything like that, but the fact that the doctor knew, and this is what happened, and it was no spoken words. There were no spoken words. It was just a present that he was giving him, just introducing him to somebody, and it was a very cute moment, and that's what they used to do.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, dude. And here's the thing I've always said and always will say to the day I die is like, I have no problem. Like if someone's gay, if they're gay, then they're gay. Then that's, but I always used to say I have no problem with someone being gay, but don't try to push it on me.
No, it's
I
it's
don't.
it's it's even more than that now. That used to be the thing, right?
Mhm.
But now it's like if you're in a TV show, in a movie, especially if you do watch Star Trek Discovery, if you are a normal straight white guy in
Mhm.
Star Trek Discovery, you are destined to die. You're destined to be racist and sexist, very, very in your face. You cannot have a white guy in that show that lives. A straight white guy cannot have it. It does not
Oh,
happen in that show.
dude, you know
It
what
is
set me off?
immediate death.
Oh, dude, you know what set me off today is like I was going. I don't mean to interrupt you or anything. I know we did talk about this last week also, so I know what you're talking about totally, totally. But in real life, for a second, um, like you triggered me when you said the white guy thing. I was going through my TikToks and some lady gets on there. I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with this person? She's like, the founding fathers were all white supremacists. And if you're down with the founding fathers, or if you're a Trump supporter, you're automatically, or if you're white, you're automatically racist. And you guys have the American flag. Give it back to us or whatever. She went through this whole spiel. I'm just like, what the? Are you from a different planet? What are you even talking about? I'm like, so you can't. Oh, I know what it was. She was talking about that guy that killed all those Asian people down in Asian town, whatever it was.
Yep.
She was like, oh, that was, if you say that that's not racist, then you're a Trump supporter. And if you're a white person, then you're automatically racist and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but. I'm
Well, of
like,
course we are. The news tells us so.
it just, I was like, I made a video response to it, and I probably should just kept my mouth shut, but I couldn't control myself. I was like, I have been on this planet for 43 years and never, ever, ever killed another human being a day in my life. And it certainly wasn't another human being because I was racist towards them.
Well, I'm glad one person on this show hasn't killed anybody.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking. That's a
Well,
good
I mean, it's different if you do it like when you're in the service or whatever, but
Now, see,
I'm saying like
that's a question for Armor Up.
yeah.
Because
But
I
like,
would disagree with you on that.
well, I know. Yeah, we talked about this
Yeah,
before.
I think we did talk about that before.
I don't know if we did it live on air though. I don't know. But this person, I mean, it's just like, so okay, yeah. So if you're a Trump supporter and you kill somebody that just happens to be a different color than you or Asian, you're automatically a racist, bigot, murdering, a murdering psychopath.
Yep.
Just to let you guys know. That's
Sure.
that's what some of these people think of us.
You know,
Like,
I was talking to my ex-wife. Now, my ex-wife still lives in Massachusetts, and Massachusetts is
Massachusetts, yes, sir. Go ahead.
very, very blue up there, very
Mhm.
blue. And I was just trying to get her to understand that physiologically, men and women are different.
Sure.
I mean, that's a statement of fact. That's that we just are. Men have testosterone, women have estrogen, and that means something. On a general spectrum. General. You have to be very general when you talk about that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In general, women are or men are physically stronger. They are.
Well, yeah. It's
You
like
know,
this. It's like this. It's like there are strong women out there. Like they're really built. Like I've seen them.
what's her
Like
name?
they can
Ronda
lift up
Rousey.
like 500 pounds and whatever. But here's the thing. Wait. I said it. Now I got to play it. Here's the thing.
But go, you know the thing.
There's the thing. if you take the strongest woman, like the ones that can lift like 200 or 300 pounds or whatever, like no problem,
Yeah.
and you pin them up against the strongest man who is physically just bigger and just physically, I'm talking about physically.
Yeah.
He's going to be stronger than the world's strongest woman every time.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's just physically, it's just science.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there's no getting around that. But go ahead, man. I'll let you finish what you were
right. And what I was really getting at, because you got to kind of, I try to use logic, right? I don't want by saying that men are on average physically stronger seems like some sort of like anti-woman thing to her. I don't know why. And it's like, no, because even our brain functions are different when it comes to certain things, on average, women are more organized on average. Not to say that every case is the same, but on average, they tend to be more organized. Women also tend to be more empathetic on average.
Yep.
So there's pluses and bonuses, depending on what our evolution has basically given us.
Yeah, and you can have a man that's like weaker than the stronger woman too.
Right, of course. I mean, Ronda Rousey will take me in a heartbeat.
Yes, me too.
I mean, there's no question about that. I'm not looking to pick any fight, but I couldn't get her to just even say that on average men are stronger than women physically, only physically. She couldn't even say it, which is funny, because it's just, it's just factual. This is scientific. This is physiology. This is biology. This is not an opinion. I mean, I can't believe that you can't just say that, because what we were talking about was QAnon, because I've told you my mom at one point ended up falling down that rabbit hole of QAnon. And
hey, wait a second. I mean, go ahead and talk, but I've got a He-Man episode that actually covers the whole women man thing, and I think there was actually a Star Trek episode that covered it, where they went to a different planet and the women actually ruled over the men. Remember that one? And then Commander Riker, I think that was that might have been first season, because he didn't have a beard.
Yes, I do know that. I do know. I do remember that episode. I'm trying to picture it, but I do remember it. I actually went through a whole stage last year about watching every single Star Trek episode that was ever made, and I started at the original series, and then I went all the way up to Discovery, and I watched every single Star Trek episode. And I can tell you, Star Trek Discovery is worse than Voyager, and Voyager was very bad. Every Star Trek fan looks at Voyager and goes, "Oh man, can we not forget
what's going on
that?"
here? Oh man, I did something wrong here, Keefstead. I'm sorry.
And the master.
What'd you do?
Yeah, I have. Well, go ahead and talk. I have this thing, but it's the moral of a story, actually.
Well, the best one is, in my opinion, talking about Star Trek, is Next Generation, because and I can give you the whole review on why, because I thought about this a whole lot.
Wait a minute, wait. So what are you saying? The best one is Star Trek Next Generation. What now?
Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, what's cool about Star Trek Next Generation is you can connect it to like basically all the ones that came after it, like DS9 and
that's not
Voyager.
By accident.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of the DS9 action figures only because they appeared on Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did a lot of crossovers.
Yes, they
back
did.
in the day.
Oh yeah, do you
I mean,
remember that
Worf
one?
even went over to Deep Space Nine after.
Yeah, but there was one before Worf left, and then there was one. I mean, well, he didn't leave. That was at the end of the Next Generation show. When it ended, he went over to them permanently. But there was one in the middle. I think it was the 4th or 5th season when they started DS9, and I think there was like what's his name? Oh, I can't think of his name right off the hand, but I think they were docked at Deep Space Nine, and he was in there messing with one of Data's inventions. And Data walks in, he's like, "Excuse me, can I help you, sir?" You know how Data talks.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, I was just interested in this invention." What the heck was the guy's name? Was he a doctor? He was,
I mean, did he look like Data?
huh?
He
No, I'm
didn't
talking about the other guy that was messing with Data's invention. He was a green shirt. Zach, not Zax or Dax, not Dax. It wasn't Dax.
Cisco is the commander, and then you had Dax, and then you had Kira, and then you had Odo, who was the shapeshifter guy.
Right.
Then you had the Ferengi. Good golly, what was his name? I am having a brain fart now, not being able to remember that Ferengi's name.
Well, I remember the one from Next Gen. But that wasn't the same one, was it? They didn't cross over.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen Data himself on Deep Space Nine.
No, this was an episode of Next Gen.
Oh, so Next Gen people. Oh, Geordi, Riker.
No. See, Data was in his lab, and a DS9 dude was in there messing with one of his things, and he was like, "Sir, if I were you, I would not mess with that," or something like. I think it was Dax. It was the guy in the green shirt. That's all I know.
Dax is a girl, so
no,
probably.
No. Well, there's a girl that looks like a guy on there. There's like she wears the green shirt. Sorry, man, I get those names confused. And I have the action figures.
Man, if you said the name, I know it.
But I forget the name of the episode. I think it was the one where Worf found out that they told him that his parents were still alive. And he went on a mission, and it was on a is it Romulan? No. Was it the Romulans that or the Cardassians?
Well, Deep Space Nine was all about Kardashians.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think who was it that the Klingons were against?
Yeah, I believe it's the Romulans.
Yeah, it was the it was it was he found out that his parents were captured, that they didn't actually get killed.
Yes, weren't they like living in a like a community? Were they living in a community on a Romulan planet?
Yes.
Where they were kind of slaves, but not really at the same time.
Yeah, they started off as prisoners.
Yeah.
And then sort of what we would call like home syndrome.
Yeah.
They just kind of adapted to it, and then they started living with their captures and got to liking and loving their captures. You know what I mean?
Yep. And the captors, I think were given orders to like kill them, and they decided not to. And yeah, I do. I remember that. I remember that episode. I don't remember who from Deep Space Nine was in it. But going back to what I was saying about Deep Space, about Next Generation, so I blame Y2K. Back in the day when Y2K was really big, 1998, that's when Deep Space Nine came out. And so you had, Next Generation was all, it was technophiles. Everyone would love technology. The whole
Mhm.
show was about fantastic technology to use it in a social atmosphere, because Next Generation, while it was super high tech, a lot of it was very social issues a lot of the times, but they used the technology to help them out, and it was fantastic. Deep Space Nine totally took a turn. You went from a technophile to a technophobe. You were on a space station that wasn't yours. It was a very alien space station, because if you remember, it was a Cardassian space station that they ended up taking over. It was in disarray when they first arrived, and they didn't know what was going on, and everything is all about how scary technology is. And so Deep Space Nine started to get into that technology is not very useful. And then you got Voyager. Their entire ship got pulled by technology, like way over into the Delta Quadrant, where they were lost for 7 years.
That was one of the shows that I didn't watch, but I watched I watched it in increments. You know what I mean? Like if it was on, I watched it. It was sort of like in the background, but I never really truly got deep into it.
Voyager, you said?
Yeah, Voyager.
Yeah, well, Voyager was terrible, because Voyager was when the PC really started to slowly come in. Before you had Deanna Troi, and Deanna Troi was, kind of a sex symbol. Well, in Voyager, they did away with that. And so you had the female captain, which no one really liked at the time, but she ended up, she ended up becoming a legitimate captain. I'll give her that. But what happened was they had poor ratings. Their ratings ended up getting so poor for not having some like an identifiable sex symbol, that they ended up bringing in 7 of 9. After season 4 seasons went by, and then they brought in 7 of 9. They needed it. And then it became the 7 of 9 show, because every other episode was about 7 of 9.
Yeah, but hey, that's where I really started watching it, when 7 of 9 came in. I wonder why.
I wonder why. I will say, if you've ever the one, if you're gonna watch one, Star Trek Enterprise is a phenomenal series. Man. I wish
that was another one I really couldn't get into. It was like, okay, so this takes place before
the original series, 50 years before the original,
but yet
like 10 years before.
But yet it was so, because of the technology we had at the time, everything looked so clean and just so like.
Yes, yes and no, that's what's awesome about it is it seems like the technology is a lot better, right? But in reality, it's very much not. And what I mean by that is they didn't have any shields, no shields on their ship. They had what they called plated. They ionized plating that they would bring up. Something like that on their ship. The transporters were brand new, which was hilarious. Every time they talk about using the transporter, like the first time the transporter gets used, you hear about different stories, where the transporter's been okayed for human use. It's been okayed for biological matter. So you can use it. Nobody wants to use it. And at one point, whenever someone does use it, something crazy happens. I think someone got turned inside out.
Bashar, that's who it was.
Dr. Bashir. Okay.
Bashir, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Bashir from Deep Space Nine. I know exactly who you're talking about now.
It was called, the episode was Bright Right, Part 1. That's where
Birthright?
Yeah.
Birthright or Bright Right?
Bright Right. Birthright. Birthright, duh. Yeah, because it was his birthright. Oh, I need new glasses, dude.
I just put new contacts in today, so I'm good to go for a week.
Yeah. So yeah, it was Quark.
Quark, that's his name. Yep. He was a great character. I loved his character. My goodness, I loved him. There The only thing I didn't like about Quark, right, had to deal with Deep Space Nine's later episodes, because Deep Space Nine takes place on a space station. Ain't much discovering going on in a space station, if you know what I mean. So that you get kind of bored. So they ended up bringing in a secondary ship called the Defiant, and that was a ship that they could, do a little bit of exploring with. You could see the little plot loop that they brought in, why they had to have the Defiant, because being on a space station got boring. So the only thing I found annoying was that every time they took the Defiant out, the entire upper echelon of the crew would be on this ship. I'm like, who is running the space station while you guys are off and then for some reason they would always bring Quark, because it's in his contract that he has to be on the show. So you got to bring him on the Defiant. So
well, you know what always bothered me also about Next Gen was like, okay, Picard going on away missions. When he started going on away missions, and then you had him and number one going on away missions. It was like, okay, so you have him and number one. So then the doctor, of course, would be next in line, who would be on the bridge. Or no, Data would be next in line, who would be on the bridge. So what happens if Data is on an away mission with all three of those guys? Then you have the doctor would be next in line. And then before Deanna Troy got her bridge license, or whatever you call it.
Yes, when she got her bridge license. That's right.
It was like, who would captain the ship if all of them were on an away mission? You know what I mean? Like,
I remember O'Brien got it one time, if I recall, something like that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I mean, just one time, but because they make note of it, and they do make note of it. That they do that. See, that's the thing. They do that in Next Generation, but they do make note of it, where it's always like, hey, Captain, it's customary for you not to go on away missions, and they'll make mention of it at least. In the later seasons, they don't even do that.
No, I remember like when the very first season, like number one, when he first came aboard, like Picard was like, I understand that you don't allow your captain to go on the away missions or whatever like that. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to do my best to make sure that you stay on the ship, or something to that effect. It wasn't exactly that, but he was very strict on not letting Picard go on the away missions.
Yeah, Data would always mention it.
Oh yeah, well, Data always mentions everything.
Yeah.
Man, okay, let me take some time right now to do sort of like a quick shout out. First of all, we have Tobin Swing swinging in. Good to see good old Tobin Swing. Haven't seen him in a while. And we got bone breaking action. I still want to do like a what you call it with him, like a what do you call that? Oh, collaboration. We got Lotar 900. Good old Lotar. Good to see him here. We got Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
I'm glad
that never gets old.
Yeah, really. Anyone that's been here for any amount of time knows that that's how we do that. That's how we do that shout out. That's a thing. That's like a tradition now. That's become like if that ever went away, like if he ever went away, I wouldn't know how to do a shout out.
Nope.
Yeah. But that's all we have so far. I'm sure we have some lurkers. I mean, we had like 8 people watching until I interrupted and decided to do a shout out.
There's 6 people now. I did I was playing a game, and I told people that I was live streaming, and I posted a link, so we could have a couple lurkers from there, and if so, how you guys doing?
Cool. Always appreciate the lurkers, man.
Yeah, speak up if you get the link from the game, let me know. I feel so silly even saying the link from the game, but
Encounter at Farpoint. Yes, that was the very first episode.
Encounter at Farpoint. Yep. was the very first one. What I like about Enterprise is when you learn about certain things. For instance, you learn about the Klingons a lot more. Like the Klingons, I don't know if you remember, but in the original series, the Klingons looked much different than they did in Next Generation.
Right, and there's a disease.
There is.
Mhm.
It was not a disease, but it was a altercation that they made to try to become super Klingon.
Okay.
But what ended up
Super
happening
Klingon.
is they ended up becoming looking more human like. And
I always heard that there was some kind of disease that spread out throughout the Klingon. What do you call it there? The Klingon race, I guess it would be called.
Well, there was an episode in, I think it was it was either Next Generation or Deep Space Nine, where they had to go back in time. That's probably Deep Space Nine, because Deep Space Nine does a lot of the time stuff too. Where they had to go back in time and go to the Enterprise. And they find the Klingons there. They mention it to Worf, and Worf's just like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Was that when the Tribbles?
Yeah, it was the episode of The Trouble with Tribbles. Yes, it was. It was so hilarious. They did such a good job with that episode. But in Enterprise, they make more note of it, of the testing that's going on with it. Not to mention that the Klingons are bad guys. Now the Klingons at Enterprise look horrendous. They're god awful looking. They look like monsters. They look like werewolves compared to Worf in Enterprise. So they did a little changing on there, but they're it's like, this is when the Enterprise is the first one to go out. They're the first ones to go out. So the flagship, the first ones to be on the away missions, and they so you think, if you remember the movies, they got contacted by the Vulcans, right? You remember Zephyrin Cochrane getting contacted by the Vulcans. And so this takes place 50 years after that. That's what it is, 50 years after Zephyrin Cochrane. And so the Vulcans are kind of overseeing the Earth. And everyone's getting mad because the Vulcans are not sharing any of their technology. And, humans want to go and explore, and the Vulcans don't want them going exploring, because Vulcans don't do that, but humans do. And so there's this big animosity. Even though we're allies, there's actually this unspoken animosity between the Vulcans, even though they're our allies. And then you have the Klingons that are just trying to take over just everything, because they're a warrior race. That's what they are. And then you have the Andorians. Now, see, I wish Next Generation would have talked about the Andorians a lot more, because the Andorians were one of the initial races that signed the peace treaty for the Federation. It was the Vulcans, the humans, and the Andorians. That's the beginning of the Federation.
I know in the movie First Contact, it was the Vulcans, right, that went and met with Cochrane.
Yes, but the Andorians are not that far away from us either. They're actually really close to us too. So you meet them. They're the blue guys. If you ever see blue people in Star Trek,
I've seen the Blue Men of Kentucky.
But the blue people are Andorians, and they have an Andorian captain.
What the heck?
Enterprise.
What is that?
Is that
On our way to Verizon 3.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
We encountered a strange
I was going to show
signal
this, and
down
it started playing on its own.
Oh, that's your video.
Yeah. What I wanted to bring that up later after we got done talking about all this is that I do some stop motion Star Trek, and it's mostly Star Trek The Next Generation stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I wanted to show just like maybe a 10, 15-minute clip or so, something like that we could watch sort of to kill time, so to speak. You know what I mean? and to show people that I'm totally into Star Trek. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love talking about just the world, not just episodes, but the world and what it means to certain things, and how they've changed their world.
You know what bugs me is like the cussing that's in. They say it's in Discovery. Now I've never seen Discovery.
Oh yeah.
I've seen Picard, and just the amount of cussing that goes on in that alone. You think back to when Worf and some Cardassian dude, like this Cardassian dude, was doing some cussing at him, and Commander Riker pointed out that it's primitive language to do because they don't cuss. They don't cuss in Star Trek, and they're like, and even in the movies, Spock is asking Kirk, he's like, "What is that language that man was using?" And then Kirk's like, "Well, that's colorful language that they use." Because I think the guy called them a jerk off or an asshole or something like that. And Kirk was like, "Well, asshole back to you too, buddy," or something like that. Like, how when people cuss in movies and it's like totally the wrong way, like when a foreigner does it and it's totally wrong.
Yep.
Actually say, and it was like, well, Kirk was doing that whole thing, where he's like, up yours, damn you, or something like that. He said it totally wrong. And so then Spock was questioning, well, what is that? What is that supposed to do? He's like, oh, it's just the way they talk in 1980, whatever year it was, And so that right there, I mean, tells you they barely ever use swear words in Star Trek.
Yeah. But it's also this is more of a production thing. Next Generation was a family show. I mean, it really was a family show, and Picard is not a family show. Picard is definitely it's definitely a nostalgic. Hold on a sec. Yeah, it's definitely a nostalgic take on it, and so it's more for adults. It's more for us.
Well, but also, here's the thing. Also, real quick, is like in many of the shows they talked about like we have evolved past having to use swear words.
Well, they like to think they have, but we come to find out that humans are humans, and we've never really changed. We've changed in some ways, but when it comes down to it, when they talk about we've evolved past money, no, you haven't.
That's the other thing that really bugs me is like there was Next Generation episodes where Picard was like, well, we don't use money the same way you guys do in this time, whatever. And it's like, and when they're playing poker, what exactly are they using when they're playing poker? I don't.
Well, I mean, they're just playing for fun. Right. That's what they're doing. But when it comes down to it, they're military. That's what they are. That's the way the military currently is. You care about honor. You care about bettering yourself. You don't care about money in the military. And so Star Trek doing that, that's what it reminded me of. It's very, very similar to the military. It's not communism. It's not even socialism. It's a very
what did they base their ranks off of, like the U.S. Navy or something, right?
I mean, sure, yeah, I guess.
How the ranks go? Like you got lieutenant commander, or you got like junior grade, and then it goes from junior grade to lieutenant, and then from lieutenant to second lieutenant, and then how's that go? And then it's like lieutenant commander, and then commander to captain,
Yeah, I really don't know.
But I mean, it's definitely very military based, how their ranks are and how they act and how they get up in the morning and stuff like the time they keep even.
Right.
It's very, and that's what I like about that show, man, is it's very much based on what it would be like in the future. If you have, just like if you had a space force.
Yeah, and in Deep Space Nine, because it takes place on a space station, it's a lot more social too, and so you start to learn that that humans, they really haven't changed. I mean, in fact, what do? They have a tavern, you know, that Quark runs, and he is all about the money, and he's getting paid, and they have how are
the economics are just weird in Star Trek.
Yeah, it is. It is just
and
weird.
there's and then some of the movies, you'll see them be like, well, what the heck is money? It's like, wait, you guys know what money is, don't?
Well,
You know,
they'll know what currency is, but they won't know what specifically what. I can understand them not knowing what cash is, because in the future,
true.
everything's like gold pressed platinum, you know.
But that was the thing in First Contact, is Picard was telling what's her name, the black lady, I can't think, I'm having a brain for it. Huh?
Guinan?
No, First Contact. The
I
one
don't remember her name. She was the assistant to
Cochrane.
Yeah.
And but she's like talking about money, like the money they make from the ship or whatever. She's like, how much of this ship would have cost, or something like that. And he's like, well, economics of the future is very different than from your time. But it's like they never really explain like how economics works.
No, they don't. But I am assuming it's a lot more military. I do believe they're getting some sort of stipend, because they have
that was the thing he said. Yeah, that was the thing that he said, is we aren't motivated by money. We're motivated by life, basically, like wanting to get up and do motivated by our sense of duty. That's what it was.
Improvement of the individual. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forget how he puts it, but yeah, no, absolutely, and I totally agree with him on that. Because that's the way, that is the way that it should be, but it doesn't mean that, you know, some things get taken away. For instance, when you have replicators, I mean, what for crying out loud? I mean,
that'd be a whole new crime, right?
Yeah. What would you do with replicators? I mean, if you had a replicator, my goodness, what would you need money for?
Right, like all those flat screen TVs that have been destroyed, you could just replicate them.
Yeah. I mean, so I understand a little bit about it. I understand a little bit about their, but it's just military, because some of the humans, they are about money. You know, they're not looking to better themselves. You know, it's just that I think the government itself has gotten maybe too big. It's gotten bigger, so that more industries are working on that whole concept of bettering oneself, or they've taken that method of working. They use Bitcoin. They probably do.
What's funny is, like, that could be very well where we're headed. You know, we could very well be getting rid of paper currency.
I mean, I'm surprised. I can't even tell you the last time I've had $1 in my pocket. To be completely honest, I don't even really use currency anymore.
Yeah. It's, well, I mean, yeah, but you know, I was thinking about this the other day, because like my grandparents, like, they recently got ripped off of their bank account, because I went and used the bank card at the gas station to pump gas, and as it turned out, that very same day that I used the bank card to get gas was the same day that there was a bunch of weird charges showed up on the account. And what they did was they had a machine hooked up to the gas pump. And I heard this has been going on a lot here lately with a lot of people. And like you swipe your card and it makes a copy of your, I don't know exactly how it works, but they were able to replicate the card, speaking of replication, and apparently use it to draw out a bunch of money.
Yep. A card scraper. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, some kind of like something.
I think that's what it's
Something
called.
like that, yeah. But it's like I'm sitting here thinking in my head, it's like, dude, if I had just used cash to pay for that gas that day, that would never happen. But it's weird because the charges were all locally at that gas station, that same gas station. So it had to be an employee or something that had this.
Well, they have people. Oh, it was inside the gas station?
Yeah, all the charges were because they have like a poker machines in there.
Yep.
And all the charges came from that, what is called, I guess it's called the game room. They called it the game room. And all the charges came from that exact gas station where Skimmer. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Skimmer. That's what it is.
But that's where all the charges came from.
Thank you, Michael Fontaine.
That gas station. So it got me, it did get me scared enough to just use cash wherever I go.
Yeah.
It's like that right there. But the weird thing is, in all the years that I've been using cards over the internet, I've never, not once, and I guess I've just been lucky. And have said that, this will probably happen now. Not once did I ever get anything stolen from me using it over the internet. Isn't that weird? Like, you would think it would be quite the opposite.
Right. No, the internet nowadays tends to be quite on the secure side, especially, I mean, Amazon don't take it lightly. In fact, what I use, like, I don't even use a bank, so I technically do use only cash, but I use a card. I go through PayPal, and all my money just is in PayPal. I get paid into PayPal. I have a PayPal card that's linked directly to my PayPal, and that's just what I use. And it makes life so much easier because I can just email everybody that I owe money to, and I just email them money. I don't even have to write checks or anything. Yeah, I mean that's basically what I use, Tobin. I do have two cards. One's just a reloadable card. It's Movo. If you ever used Movo on like Movo is something you can get on your phone, and they'll send you a card, and that's all it is. It's literally just like a prepaid card basically, but it allows you to do a bunch of stuff with it. And so that's what I end up using. Like, I like being able to just log in and find out how much money that's in there, and Movo and PayPal is really good with that. So yeah, that's what I use. I don't know how we went from Star Trek to that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's very weird how we could go from like one thing to do a total 360 and go somewhere else with it. Oh man, is it 360 or 180? I get those two confused.
180, 360, you'd be right back where you were.
Okay, yeah. Well, no, then no. We did it 180. Okay. Yeah. So, what was I? I was going to ask you a question, but I went to the. I kind of walked off there for a second. You were talking about your cash. Oh yeah, and I just remembered what it was. Do you remember in the infancy of eBay, like when it was very young?
Oh yeah.
And you used to be able to use money orders to pay for shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
That was before PayPal.
I used to sell video games on eBay back in the day. I worked at Funko Land before they all turned to GameStops. I worked at a Funko Land, and we would take in like old Nintendo games and stuff like that. And working there, you get the first crack on stuff. And so we would have people that would bring in stuff that we wouldn't buy, and I would just pay cash for it. And I would buy it, and then I would sell it on eBay. And every once in a while you'd find like a video game that was worth tons of money. Like there's a video game out there that's worth I think it's like $400 to $600, and it's an old Nintendo game called Tetris. Tengen Tetris. Everyone knows Tetris, but
Oh man.
Tengen made a copy of it, but it was only out in stores for 4 days before they took them off the shelves.
Speaking of Tetris, I got an interesting. I saw a TikTok the other day. This guy was talking about conspiracy theory involving Tetris and Russia, and
that's how they started. That's how they started.
It's funny. It's he. I know he's not being serious. Like he was doing it just to like.
Oh really?
Yeah, he spins out the now. It's interesting. Don't get me wrong. But in no way, shape, or form could it ever be possible to actually do this. But he was talking about Tetris, like a long time ago. The Russians like used Tetris supposedly to insert a chip into our brain or whatever. And
sure.
And he was like, so what if that was the case? And then what if this vaccine? Oh shit. Warning, I don't believe any of this stuff, YouTube. Okay. He's like, what if this vaccine is not inserting a chip, but it's actually sucking a chip out of our system?
That's so silly.
Yeah, it is. It is. But yeah, it's interesting too in a way, but how in the world are you gonna be playing Tetris and a chip go into your brain though is my problem.
I don't understand, and I mean, how does Nintendo, because Tetris was big on Nintendo, so how would
I don't know. Well, Game Boy too.
Yeah, well, that's Nintendo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know, man. But no, this guy, I don't think he was being serious. Like he does a series of videos where he comes up with these outrageous freaking conspiracy theories, like just like from out of nowhere off the top of his head that he talks about. This is like too outrageous for even me to even consider, you know. I don't know. I just found it amusing. Now I can see programming, maybe, but not like an actual physical chip that's going to go inside you from watching the game. Like,
right?
How the heck does that work? But I can understand programming. Like, there was a lot of like back in the early 50s and 60s when television was new. Like, they would do a lot of programming. Like, I could see that happening. And I could see a lot of, even today, like with commercials and stuff.
Yep.
Like programming you to want a certain product or like.
Well, I mean, there was.
Using certain key phrases or words.
Well, subliminal messaging isn't anything new. That's always been. You know, heck, they made a movie basically all about that. It was golly, what was that movie? It's such a girl movie too. Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh yeah.
You remember Josie and the Pussycats? It was a cartoon, and then they made a movie about it. Sure. I actually love the movie. It is I wouldn't say one of my favorite movies, but it was a good movie, and it highlighted subliminal messaging in music. Is basically what it did.
Well, I got a clip here to show you that actually G.I. Joe came up with this idea long before Josie and the Pussycats.
Did they now?
There was a cartoon. It was called Code Slitter. And basically, I got a clip here if I could play it. Let's see here. They did a show where Cobra was running low on funds for their terrorist organization type activities, And so they decided that they would form a rock band with the Dread, and they used this song called Slitter to subliminally, program people. And the Joes actually ended up going to that concert, and it was it was funny, but I just thought it was funny. But yeah, that was actually a G.I. Joe episode about subliminal rock music.
Wow.
That they did. So let's see.
I don't remember. I used to watch G.I. Joe when I was a kid, but I don't remember any of it nowadays.
Action! Everybody! Action!
Yeah, here's a little clip of the song. I know I'm going to get a copyright claim, but I really don't care at this point.
Right.
Hey, Miss Connie Joe just popped in, and we got Milo Fire is here as well. They're all coming over from Scare Performances channel. He had a show tonight, Twisted Tuesday.
Twisted Tuesday.
Twisted.
Stole your day.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But they couldn't do what they call Mandela Monday. Have you ever checked the guy out?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should check the guy out sometime.
Wait. What was his name again?
Scare
No.
Performance.
I think I'm subbed to him, but I don't think I clicked the bell for notifications.
Okay, can you guys see this? Am I sharing?
Yes,
All
you
right.
are sharing.
All right, I'm going to play this. It's only 28 seconds long, so there you go.
Everybody! Action! We're called Slitter. You'll be joining us soon. A band of vipers playing our tune. With an iron fist and a reptile hiss, we shall rule. What is that idiot doing? We've heard it before. We're not gonna play the game no more.
What is that thing? What was that thing?
Yeah, that was his, the chainsaw.
The one-handed chainsaw?
Yeah.
I've never seen a one-handed chainsaw.
Oh, yeah. Well, that existed in G.I. Joe world, the one-handed chainsaw. But, yeah, that was the plot was them. They would subliminally get people to join Cobra by playing that song. So
A question: What? Seeing that you're, kind of into He-Man, what are your thoughts on the He-Man movie that was released?
well, I got to tell you something. That I'm kind of conflicted on because I've been watching it here recently, and when you watch it, if you watch it as just a movie,
Mm-hmm.
like if you watch it as just a movie and you don't think of it as a Masters of the Universe movie, it's a cheesy sci-fi flick. But as a He-Man movie, it's freaking awful. It's god awful as a He-Man movie.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, what could they do? Okay, I have to go all the way back to when I was a kid with this one. All right. So like when I was a little kid, even way back then, I saw this in the movie theater, dude. And I was disappointed even back then. I was like, you've seen the movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I was like,
oh yeah, I've seen that.
I was questioning it even back then. I'm like, okay, where the heck is Battle Cat? Why is He-Man wearing a cape? Why is He-Man shooting a gun all through the movie? Why are they inventing these new characters? Why didn't that Blade guy could have easily been Trapjaw, and the Snake guy could have easily been Hiss or whatever his name, Cobra Khan. Like they had actual like bad guy characters that they could have used in the movie. Like there was a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He-Man had tons of characters, and then they didn't use a single one of them in the movie.
No, they used like two, like Evil Lynn and Beastman. That was it. Well, and of course Skeletor, but
Right. Even
so
Skeletor looked a little on the weird side, though.
getting back to when I was a kid, I saw this. I'm like, why is Gildor there? Like Gildor could have easily been Orko. Like they could have switched that character out and he could have been Gildor. And why is Gildor the inventor? Like Man at Arms was the inventor in the TV show. Like, why is he not? Like, they could have given Man at Arms so much more to do. They could have kept all of the action on Planet Eternia. Like, okay, if you're going to go to Earth, that's fine. I didn't really have a problem with that. But why throw in the B story about that girl losing her parents and they tried to make it like this dramatic story, and it's not. It's like it's a cartoon. It's He-Man. Yeah. It's like, where does this fit into the He-Man? Like it was ridiculous. And I don't know what the hell they did to the sorceress, but that was not the sorceress. When I was a kid, I'm like, couldn't they just put feathers on her? I mean, at least tried to make her look bird-like. I mean, what the hell is this thing? That was my idea as a kid, even back then.
Yeah.
I was like so disappointed, but at the same time, I was thrilled because I had He-Man on the big screen. I'm like, okay, we got some new toys. All right, that's cool. But watching as an adult, it's more of those so bad that it's good type of movies,
When I first saw it, I was into He-Man, but I wasn't huge into He-Man. Like, I think I did the cartoon, but that was it. I didn't really do any of the toys. I was more Voltron, to be honest. But I did watch a lot of the cartoons because they were Saturday morning cartoons. But when the movie came out, I did enjoy, as a kid, I did enjoy the movie. But now when I watch it as an adult, I'm like, man, this didn't make any sense whatsoever.
No. It was freaking horrible.
It was a terrible low budget. You know why they went to Earth? Because they couldn't afford making Eternia. That's why. And how many times you want to punch that the little dwarf dude that used the flute thing or whatever they called it?
Yeah, the cosmic key. Yeah,
the cosmic key. I wanted to punch him every time he talked.
Like, do you not see my point? Like, he could have easily been Orko.
Yeah,
like, just call him Orko and put a hat on him. I mean, why he was in charge of inventions? Like that whole cosmic key thing could have been totally a plot that came from the cartoon. I mean, that was something that they did in the cartoon, I think, at one time. But make it go to a different planet, or make it go to, like, something else. But
you can be Earth-like and not be Earth.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of backstory to that too that I won't go on here. But it was low budget, like you said. They were given very little money, and Mattel had their hands in it, and they kept making ridiculous suggestions. Like, they were middling with it. They middled with that whole thing, and then they wanted to fire the director, and they kept lowering the budget themselves. Mattel did this, and the studio had interference as well because they wanted to sell more toys.
No.
And yep.
No, Michael Fontaine. No, that was definitely not Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis is a god actor, phenomenal actor. Love Warwick Davis. Huge fan of Warwick Davis here. When he was in he actually played in Doctor Who. He was in Doctor Who for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he played the Emperor of the Galaxy. He was a great role. But he was also in what the heck is the name of that movie where he has to take the baby? Anyway. But yeah, no, that's not Warwick Davis. This actor was an actor that played in an old Tom Cruise movie called Legend. It was the Tom Cruise and Mia Sara. I believe, was in it, and he played the same annoying character.
Oh, he's talking about Gwildor, who played Gwildor.
Yeah, the dwarf.
That was I know who it is, but I can't think of his name right now.
Warwick Davis deserves, I just to beat this to a dead horse. Warwick Davis is such an underrated actor. He's been he's one of the best actors in TVs, but because I honestly I think because he's a dwarf, he kind of got overlooked. Oh, that's terrible. But he deserves Academy Awards for a ton of his movies. He's so great. Okay, as you were saying, Willow. That was the movie I was thinking of. Willow.
Mm-hmm. Willow. Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, it was. Shit. Barf. Barton. The last name's Barton. I can't think of the first name right now. But it was definitely. But Barton was actually in a lot of 70s movies, and he was always like the angry sort of grumpy midget character in all those movies. I say midget. I mean, that's what we used to call him back then in those days, and I still do.
Yeah,
I still use the word midget, so I'm just going to use the word midget. But yeah, he was always playing in those parts where they need a small guy,
Yeah.
But
I mean, nowadays
in that movie, he was just annoying.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
And in Legend, which is a phenomenal movie. I mean, it had one of Tom Cruise's first movies. Mia Sara is one of her first movies, and then who else was major in that movie? Oh my goodness, what the heck is his name? He played in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was Frankenfurter. He played in Muppets Take Manhattan.
Oh, really?
Clue. What the heck is his name? Who is that guy? Tim Curry.
Oh, really?
Tim Curry played Darkness. He's Satan in the movie Legend, and he is phenomenal as well.
Oh, the movie Legend. Yeah. Why was I thinking of Labyrinth?
Oh, I mean, it's the same era of sorts.
Yeah.
I could forgive you. I could forgive you for thinking it's Labyrinth.
Yeah. I always get those two movies confused for some odd reason. I don't know why.
So Labyrinth did marginally well in theaters. Legend didn't do very well in theaters, but Legend still became quite the cult classic. I love it. Heck, my kids are named after that movie.
Oh wow!
Legend. Yeah, really? Yep. The two main characters are Jack and Lily, and my first son's name is Jack, and my daughter's name is Lily.
Oh, it's cool how that worked out. See?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have 4 kids, so
yeah.
And one of them's named Keith, obviously.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Hence your name on there. Yeah, Keith's dad. Yeah. Tell you have to be a dad of some Keith. Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a Jack and Lily named after that movie.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, hey, listen. Here's what I have. How would you like to watch a little bit of stop motion Star Trek that I got here?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put that on here, and we could do commentary over it, and we'll talk about it. Let's see here. This is one of the older stuff I think I did. I can tell by the screen what I got here. Still okay, still pretty cool. Oh crap! I gotta go to screen share. I forget every time. Oh man. Hey, you know what, man? It's like I'm working on this Jesus movie right now, but when I'm done with that, I'm gonna start back on the Mandela family movies again. And
I like those.
And I'm thinking about having you as one of the main characters.
I thought I was, wasn't I?
Well, I mean, you are on the Hebrew and Saji show.
I think I see a string.
Yeah, you're gonna see. Yeah, these aren't
I'm
CBS production.
You didn't have millions of dollar budget?
No. Man, I wish. Yeah. Basically, it's just me hanging a. That's not even next gen. That's not even the next gen Enterprise. That's like
No, that's the original series Enterprise.
yeah,
Enterprise C, whatever it is.
Just Enterprise 1701.
Yeah.
Next generation is Enterprise D. So yeah, it would be Enterprise C. You're right. But yeah, it's just basically this little keychain hanging over a computer screen with stars flying by. But hey, it works. All right, here we go, man. You ready to dig into this one?
I am ready. Let me full screen this. All right, let's go.
Wait, I'm not full screen.
Well, you weren't. I'm watching this through the StreamYard, and it's kind of small, so I can see the comments. But now I'm full screen, so I can see everything.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, here we go, brother.
The Weapon Part 1.
Yep, Weapon Part 1.
I have now beamed aboard an away team to investigate.
Ah. Ooh. Oh.
Ah!
What the
All
hell?
right, let's all see what this is. There appear to be some strange adrenal transmissions coming from this direction. About 500 kilometers this way, sir. All right, please go with him. Aye, sir. Yes. There appears to be a.
I didn't realize the
large
static was that
structure.
bad on this.
A tomb of sorts, as it were.
Doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, I seem to be picking up something with my visor. Over this way.
Funk.
There's a
Yeah, thunk.
over this way, guys. Data, you might want to get your tricorder over here. Yes, Mr. Worf, would you assist me, please? What is it, Commander? I need to lift up this large stone. Be careful with that, Data. I'm getting a heat signature. Could be some sort of animal underneath there. That is.
No way would he struggle with that, by the way.
What are you guys doing here? I must warn you to please lower your weapon, sir. I will lower nothing. You guys are trespassing. Lower your weapon or you will get shot.
Okay, your Worf impression is awesome.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
And while I'm glad you got that pause there, because what species is Riker? That is not human. That is not a human
Huh?
figure.
What do you mean?
What is with his waist? What he doesn't. His neck is huge. His head looks flat. What is going on with this action figure?
Hey, that's just the way that's the way Playmates made him. So I don't know.
He looks so awkward.
It could be the camera angle too, though.
Maybe it is. I noticed it earlier, but I was like, oh, maybe we can pause it when he's on there.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know.
I am Commander William T. Riker of the USS Enterprise. I am in charge of this away team. You guys are trespassing on this planet, and you are trespassing in this tomb. I am the guardian of this tomb, and I will kill you if you attempt to step foot in it. And as chief of security, I suggest that you do not do that. Stand down, Mr. Worf. Sir, if I may go inside there and check it out? Not yet, Geordi. Please, sir, we are explorers. We were sent here. Some kind of strange signal. Yes. You see, there are neutrino missions given out on this. I don't care what was given out on here. If you do not stand down now, you all will be killed. Commander, I suggest we use aggression. Let's talk to this individual. I do not think he is listening, Commander. Yes, it appears as though violence is the only way with these people. Unless he fires on us first.
That's very odd that Data would
Yes,
agree with
already
that.
a threat, Commander, but Mr. Worf, please. If you'll lower your weapon and allow us to explore, we will leave your planet. You will leave my planet now, or you will be destroyed. I think he's quite serious, Commander. Mr. LaForge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way he just, yeah. Oh boy.
Inform Captain Picard of our situation and stand by to transport back on to the Enterprise. Aye, aye, sir. This is Geordi LaForge to the bridge. Please.
Yeah. Their
Yes,
arms
Mr.
don't.
LaForge. This is Captain Picard. Captain, we are experiencing some problems down here on the planet. There are some hostile people here who are protecting the what we have discovered to be a sort of a tomb, sir. Yeah, I suggest that the four of you beam back up to the Enterprise. Very well, then. Are you the leader of this planet? I am the guarder of this tomb. And you wish it for us not to explore it any
I think he
further?
made that clear.
No. Do not go past this, or you will be blasted upon.
Blasted.
Very well, then.
Yeah.
We must comply to your wishes. Geordi, the captain has advised us to beam up, sir. Very well. Chief O'Brien, for the beam up. Aye, aye, sir. I'm beaming you up now.
I think I made him sound more
Beam us
Scottish.
directly to the bridge. Aye, aye. Direct transport to the bridge. You've got it, sir.
Yeah, that you used Scotty. Not Chief O'Brien. That's a Scotty voice.
I know, yeah. He sounds
Deanna,
more.
are you sensing anything hostile? Yes, Captain. Very hostile. Hmm.
Oh, you got Dax.
Oh, yeah, that's the.
Everyone to their stations. Geordi, you're on Science 1, please. Aye, aye, sir. What's going on, Captain? Well, Deanna has sensed a hostile vessel approaching Vost. I'm picking it up now, sir.
I love your voices.
Aye, sir.
Okay, that's Romulan.
It appears to be a Cardassian battle cruiser. I am hailing them now, sir.
Well, I only have that one picture, so. I mean, you know. He's having trouble.
It seems to be a Cardassian. No, that's a Romulan warbird. It's.
I mean, you know.
We'll go with it. It's Cardassian.
We are receiving a hail. On screen, Mr. Wolf.
This is the longest intro to a show I think I've ever done.
What is a Federation starship doing in this sector of the galaxy?
I am Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise, and we are here because we received a transmission down from the planet below.
Well, we are telling you right now, Picard, get out of this sector immediately, or we will attack your ship.
If you attack your ship, it will be considered an act of war, and we will attack you right back.
What are you? Why do you protect this planet so much?
My question is, why do you want the planet so much? Why do you even care about it? This is not Cardassian space.
We believe there is a powerful
AT&T in the top left.
Do what now?
The screen says AT&T. AT&T is the music.
Well, I mean, they could exist in the future. I mean, why not? They had Budweiser, and the
Talking about subliminal messaging. There we go. There's your subliminal message. AT&T makes all the view screens. But they get great Wi-Fi on the Enterprise. Look at that signal.
yeah.
if any Federation will get control of this weapon. We will get the weapon for ourselves and liberate the Federation. So I say again, get your starship out of here or be destroyed. The choice is yours.
What was that, Mr. Worf? It appears as though they have fired a warning shot. Should we respond, Captain? Go to red alert, Mr. Worf. It appears as though we're going to be under attack. Aye, aye, sir.
That didn't last long.
Oops.
Whoops.
Mr. Worf, what is our status? It appears as though they have beamed some people down to the planet. Looks like we got our work cut out for us, do we not? Why did you try hailing them?
Now here's my homemade. I'll skip past this part. Well, no, it's just me talking.
Is it you talking?
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise and its continued mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek a new life, new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before.
There we go. Yeah, that was my own intro that I did, and the best Picard voice that I could possibly do.
It's not bad. Your voices are really good. You could do that for a living. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Some of your voices are really spot on. I noticed it very first time with Saji. You nailed Saji's voice perfectly in your videos.
Mementos, starting 27758888. We have made contact with the Procurers down on the planet. We have talked them into letting some of our guys beam down as we help them protect themselves against the Cardassian threat.
Oh, there's the audio again.
All right, guys, spread out. Worf, you're with me. Jordy, Data, you guys go that way.
Go which way?
Keep your phasers ready at all time, guys. This is a very hostile planet, especially now that the Cardassians are here. And you got that right, sir. Well, the transmissions seem to be coming from this direction, Jordy. Well, let's check it out. Wait, Data, is that thing moving?
It's a Minotaur.
That is odd.
Yeah.
It seems to be a statue of some sort. The Taurus. A bull. Back in biblical days, a long time ago on Earth. Don't worry about the Taurus. I'm getting a heat signature coming off that thing, Data. A human body temperature. Yes, there does seem to be fluctuations in pattern, Jordy. Please do be careful. All right. You guys again. Greetings. I'm Lieutenant Commander Data, and this is... I know who you guys are. You beamed down here earlier, remember? I spoke with your captain. Very persuasive guy, that is. He says there are some hostiles down here on the planet. Yeah, Cardassians. Yes, sir. They could be very, very hostile indeed. Well, just as long as you don't try to steal any of the treasures, I guess it's okay. Right this way. Come on. The Cardassians seem to think that there is a possibility of a very powerful weapon down on this planet. I don't know what they're talking about. There's no powerful weapon down here. Just old ancient runes. Well, I don't know. Cardassians were very persuasive. I don't know. But remember, you're only here for protection only. We would like to check out this tomb as well, if possible. I could give you a tour. Just don't touch anything. We did not intend to, sir. Right this way. I feel very uneasy here, sir. Yeah, we're all a little uneasy here, especially with the Cardassians down here.
That is so weird.
At least they're not attacking the Enterprise at the moment. The last thing we need is an all-out war with these guys. Yeah, well, hey, do you hear that? I do not have to hear it. I can smell it. Draw your face very slowly, Mr. Worf. Aye, sir. Aha! Federation scum! We told you to get away from here. And yet you come down on this planet and attack us? We have not done nothing of the sort. Tell yourself, Mr. Worf. What are you guys even doing down here? We only came down here as protection from this planet. We told your captain earlier there is a very powerful weapon here, and we tend to get it. There is no indication there's a powerful weapon here. When we visited here earlier, there's mere ancient runes. There cannot possibly be an old ancient weapon here. You are a fool to think that, Commander. That's it. Klondike, zap him. Yes. Take this, Federation scum. Now,
What do you call them? Klondike?
This is what he called them.
Klondike, zap him, zap him.
That's the Kardashian's name is Klondike. You don't have to worry about him. He's just gonna melt in 10 minutes.
Right.
Just touch him with your fingers, instant melting.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man. Some of these names I come up with.
now, Mr. Worf. Get down. No, we will will defend themselves.
Very low tech.
My goodness, the action sequence.
Now, are you Cardassians give up? Or are you thirsty for more? We do not need weapons to defeat you. Luckily, I was going to say the same thing.
Star Trek, brought to you by the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Commander Riker, how are you doing? I'm holding my own, Mr. Worf. Get off of me! Mr. Worf, that is enough. I believe you got him. Get him up off the ground and question him. Now, answer my questions. No, I will not answer anything. So long, suckers. Hey, where do you think you're going?
Star Trek, brought to you by Bugs Bunny.
For sure. Yeah. So long, suckers.
All right, I got this one, Mr. Worf, and I'm questioning this one. Where is your commander? Why are you really here? What is your motivation? Zorkon, beam us up immediately! Emergency beam up! Oh, no, you don't. Oh, yes, I do. Zorkon! Zorkon, beam us up! Zorkon!
God. Yeah.
Oh, damn! He got away, sir. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Mine got away, too. Damn freaking Cardassians. Your uniform is scratched up. I'm well aware of that, Mr. Worf. All right, be careful. There may be some more here on the planet. Or they may decide to attack the Enterprise and get us away from here. That is a very good point, Mr. Worf. Let's check in on the status of the captain. Captain, is everything okay up there? Yes. We haven't been attacked on in quite some time now. Perhaps all of the Cardassians are down here on the planet, sir. That could very well be, Will. Be very careful down there. You know how the Cardassians are. All right. Commander Riker, over now. I wonder how Geordi and Data are doing. Perhaps we shall catch up to them. Yep, let's get going. This is it. The
Star
ancient
Trek.
tomb.
Brought to you by Google Voice.
My visors are picking up all kinds of energy fluctuations. I am as well, Geordi. Maybe this is why the Cardassians figured this would make a great weapon. A powerful weapon, as you were. Well, there is modern computers inside, but they have been around for 1,000 years. There's no chance they could be up and running. Good thing I brought my tools with me. Maybe we could switch it on. Right this way, gentlemen. Wow, these really are ancient computers. Do you mind if we examine these computers even further? Oh, why should I care? They've been shut down for thousands of years. What could you people possibly do to them? You know, Data, the Cardassians could be very well right. Indeed, if they can get these computers online, there could be a way that they could somehow become a very powerful destructive weapon. I suggest we be very careful with our findings. Yep. Well, I'll get to work on this one. And I will get to work on this one as well. I don't know, Data. There might not be enough power in these old computers to even shut them on. Jordy, according to my calculations, it would only take a few mere recalibrations, and these computers could be as active as they were thousands of years ago.
Thousands?
That's good to hear. Huh?
Goodness.
What the... What? Jordy, yep. We're in trouble. Yes, thank you for leading us here. Now get to work. Hey, put down that weapon immediately. You put down your weapon or the android gets it. I want these computers functional immediately. Perhaps it should have been wise for you guys to wait for us to finish the computers and then just simply conk us on the head. That's not a bad idea. But I think it would be more to our benefit if we were to kill you after you finish the computers. Now, as I said before, get to work and you drop your weapon. Fine. Now get in that cavern. You're not going to get by with this. Oh, but we are getting by with it. And we will get by with it. Mark my words. The Federation is going to go up against a more advanced Cardassian than you've ever seen when we use this computer as an ultimate power weapon. Now, you two get to work and turn off them communication badges. We wouldn't want anybody to follow us, would we? Very well, but you must realize that the Enterprise can track me as well. Data, don't tell him that. Perhaps I should destroy you.
Yeah. Why would he?
However, it will be much faster if I do the computers. For I do work 1 million problems per second in my head. Well, then what are you waiting for, android? Turn around and get to work and shut up. All right, come on, Data. We better do as he says. But Jordy, Data, we're beat. Very well. As finally us Cardassians will be one up on all the rest of the civilizations. More importantly, the Federation. All right, but I gotta warn you, this might take some time. And even if we can get it done, it doesn't really necessarily mean that it's going to work. Is that a toolbox down there by your feet? It's a matter of speaking, yes. Why do I not see you opening the toolbox? Well, because at this juncture, all I really have to do is push some of these buttons. Why do you wear the visor? Are you blind? Technically speaking, yes, but I can see what I'm doing. Very well then. Get to work. And Cornock, make sure the prisoner stays put. What do you think I am doing? Standing around scratching my backside? Just keep an eye on the prisoner. Very well, then. You heard him, prisoner. If you move, I will blast you into obliteration. All right, Data. Let's get to work on these things. It's going to be a long night. But Jordy, it is daytime. Not now, Data. To be continued. Do.
There you go. So there's that. The first part of the episode.
I'll be honest, I'm not going to be able to watch the second part today. I'm actually, I got to cut off now.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I'm glad for you being here tonight, man.
Oh no, anytime. I love Taco Tuesdays.
Oh, it's been a wonderful Taco Tuesday, man. It's been a relaxing one. If anything, we've been able to talk about our favorite subjects.
No, yeah, no drama. Just a very relaxing conversation. Sketching my back side.
Yeah, he pause there, didn't he? But I will play the second part. You know what? Maybe I'll hold off, and I could play the second part of that next week.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, that would be kind of a.
I was totally interested in it. I'm just getting exhausted now. No nap today.
I see. Well, we have been on the air for 2 hours and like 16 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wow, it's been going by. It went by fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you go. You want to keep
right.
going or close up, whatever you're gonna do.
I'm probably going to close up at this point, but thanks for being on, and I'll see you next time.
All right, see you, Hero.
All right,
bye.
Take care. All right, well, there you have it. There was good old Keith's dad. And yeah, if I get a hold of Saji for next week's show, we will continue what is the Star Trek saga here on Taco Tuesday. Now I'm going to do a final shout out. I'd like to thank all of you all for stopping by and watching the show. We got Milo Fire, Miss Connie Joe. Hold on a second. Ooh, well, she went to bed a little bit ago, I guess. We got Michael Fontaine. Michael Fontaine. Let's see. I know Lotar was here earlier, or Marvarax was here. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see here. We had Tobin Schwing. Glad you were here, my friend. Did I mention Lotar? Yeah, Lotar was here. Bone Breaking Action was here for just a little bit. And let's see. Scrolling up. And of course, Keith's dad was here, and I'd like to thank him for being my broadcast partner for tonight. Very awesome show, ladies and gentlemen. And you can watch, of course, all of those Star Treks are up for anybody to watch if they want to, but I think it would be much nicer if you waited the next week. It'd be kind of like the old days where you had to wait to watch a show. Like it'd be to be continued. You'd have to actually wait. So it'd be kind of cool to do that. But anyway, for everyone here at Taco Tuesday, we'd like to wish you all a good night. And I will see you guys on Shifty Sunday. Good night, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. You guys all have a good night. Well, yeah. What's this one? That's the end of the show. We hope to see you all again next time for Taco Tuesday. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. I said taco. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. So long, everybody. Ha ha. Yeah. Whoopsh.